We're living through a loneliness epidemic. Millions are starving for connection. Yet, there's a specific group of people doing the exact opposite. You know the feeling. You see a text from someone who constantly drains you, and instead of guilt, you feel nothing. You delete it. You block them. And here's the part that makes society uncomfortable. When you walk away, you don't feel broken. You feel an overwhelming, addictive sense of peace. You weren't born cold. Usually, the people who are the best at cutting ties are the ones who spent decades being the anchor. You were the friend who answered the 3 a.m. call. You were the family peacekeeper, the one who absorbed everyone's chaos and filtered it into calm. You poured into everyone else's cup until yours wasn't just empty, it was cracked. One day, an invisible line was crossed. You stopped reaching out, and the world didn't end. The room just finally got quiet. Society calls this avoidant or antisocial. Neuroscience calls it a survival mechanism. According to Polyvagal Theory, your nervous system is a 24/7 security guard. When you spend years in predatory relationships where people take without giving, your brain realizes social engagement is no longer safe. It's a threat. So, it flips a biological circuit breaker called the dorsal vagal shutdown. You aren't ghosting because you're mean. You're withdrawing because your body is trying to save your life before you hit a total emotional collapse. Why is your drainage sensor so sensitive? It's often a childhood blueprint. If you grew up in a house where you had to read the emotional weather, before you even knew how to read a book, you became a master at threat detection. Dr. Murray Bowen called this emotional cutoff. You learned early on that closeness equals chaos. Your solitude isn't a prison. It's the only place the weather is always clear. People who cut others off are often neurological detectives. Studies show that those who managed others' emotions early in life have highly active frontal lobes. You aren't paranoid. You just process social data faster than the average person. When someone love bombs you, you don't see romance. You see the crash coming. When a friend only calls with a crisis, you recognize the rhythm instantly. You aren't being judgmental. You're just listening to the data. There is a massive difference between building a wall out of fear and building a fence out of self-respect. Isolation is a state of starvation. You want connection, but can't find it. Solitude is a state of intentional fasting. It's choosing the quiet because the quiet is rich. If you cut someone off and your heart rate drops and your breath slows down, you aren't isolating. You are detoxing. The Harvard study of adult development. The longest study on happiness ever proved it's not the quantity of friends that keeps us alive. It's the quality and safety of the bond. If your circle is a dot, but that dot is filled with respect, you've won. You're not running away from people. You're running toward a version of yourself that refuses to live in chaos. Your peace is expensive. Stop giving discounts to people who can't afford you.